Today we are going to be unboxing, setting up, and reviewing Dr. Illume from the 2022 Spirit Halloween lineup. Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name's Jordan, and welcome to My Flippin' Life. So here we are, we have Dr. Illume. Now, I had purchased this on Mercari, and it was significantly less than what you're gonna buy from Spirit Halloween, and the shipping was way cheaper. So this guy is originally $219. I picked him up for $165 plus shipping. This is an awesome animatronic, and I cannot wait to unbox this one and set it up and show you what he does. Now, Dr. Illume has just released this year in 2022. He is a brand new animatronic for the season, and he released this year in January. So I'm gonna get right into unboxing Dr. Illume and set him up, and I'm gonna show you everything inside and step by step on how to set Dr. Illume up. All right, so everything is inside the box here. You have the new tubes for the arms and the legs. These are actually really awesome. Way better than just the foam tubing that they've used in the past. I really like these, and I'm excited to see how these work out. Over here you have your pants, then you have the lab coat, then you have your head, your main mech, shoulder form, both of your hands, then his boots are down there, and then the other, I think those are the arm forms. And then obviously your base and everything is in there as well. So we're going to go ahead, take all this out of the box, set it on the floor, and we're going to begin the build. All right, now we have Dr. Illume all unboxed and set out on the floor. Here we have his main base. Got his directions right here. We have all of his main poles right here. His shoulder form, his shoes, his hands. The adapter is over there. We got his head, his arm and his leg forms, the hip hoop, the main mechanism, his pants, and then his awesome looking lab coat. Now let's build Dr. Illume. What do you say? All right, so first things first, make sure your base is on a nice level ground, and then also the legs are directional. One says right, one says left. Now we're going to start putting Dr. Illume together. Now the shoes are the first thing that go on. They are not directional. Doesn't matter which side you put them on. Slide them down over. Next are the support poles for his legs. They're not labeled with any numbers or letters. They're just labeled left and right. And they have the push buttons on them so you know which direction they go. Just push them in until you hear the click. Same with the other one. Go over to this side. Same thing. Slide it in until it snaps. Okay, same thing with this piece. Snap it in until it clicks, just like that. Both of the legs are on there. And he does have a really cool stance to him. So I'm excited to see this guy all set up. Next is the corrugated tubes labeled Part J. Now these do have a smaller end on one side and a wider end on the other. The smaller end is going to face towards the front, so they fit onto these prongs with the holes. Once you get those down inside, same thing on the other side. Just like that. I do enjoy these corrugated tubing a lot better than the foam that they used. It's going to fill this out and make it look way more realistic. Next is the pants labeled Part P. Now the pants are directional, and they do have the traditional fly on the front, so that's how you know front from back. Go ahead and put the pants on. Then we're going to go ahead and leave these baggy, because once we put all this together, the hip hoop goes on here, and then you Velcro the pants to the hip hoop. Next is Part D, which is the main control box, and it snaps onto the top of the legs. with the push buttons again. Push till you hear the click. We're going to leave the wires loose for right now. Now next is the hip hoop I was just talking about. Now the hip hoop is directional. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's shorter on one end and longer on the other. It's kind of a really egg shape. You want the longer end towards the back to clear the mech. Just slide it over that. It fits down in the holes like that. And then you start Velcroing the pants on. Now I do like the Velcro. I haven't really seen any animatronics with that, but it might be because of his violent motion so his pants don't fall down. But I feel like they really need to start implementing the Velcro in a lot of the other props. Alright, there we go. We got them all squared away. Now next is the chest form, labeled part F. And it slides into the two holes way up top here. Now next is his lab coat. We're just going to fit this on around his shoulders. Okay, so the longer arm is going to go over here on the left. And the shorter one, you can go up through the sleeve, you can go on the outside of the coat. It doesn't really matter. The jacket's probably going to fall down anyway. But it goes inside these little brackets. Drops down inside there, just like that. Now we got his arms on. Next you want to connect the IR sensor, which mine's already connected. And it's got Velcro on the inside of the shirt here, and there's Velcro on the other side. And it's going to go right through his lab coat, so it sticks out on the front right over here on the right side. Next we want to attach the hand with the beaker, and then on the inside feed this wire down the tubing. It comes out through this side, clip it in, finish pulling all the plastic tubing up to his hand. And then we can attach the Velcro. Now we attach the left hand. Again, just goes through some holes. Roll up the sleeve so you can pull the tubing down. Pull the lab coat down and attach the Velcro. There we go. Now we can officially button him all up. Next is Dr. Illume's head. There's also a wire we need to feed down in there. It's kind of tricky. Dr. Illume's head is on a spring, which is making this difficult. So I gotta reach up inside. There we go. Now on the back side, grab the wire from Dr. Illume's head. You're gonna want to attach the little wire now that that's plugged in. There we go. Dr. Illume is all set up. He looks absolutely awesome. I like the detailing in his face with the veins. Same with his hands. It's got some really cool detailing in his hands. The beaker in his hand looks really cool. All in all, I really like this guy. Now we're gonna plug Dr. Illume in and see what he does. So there you have it. There's Dr. Illume all set up, working. I think Dr. Illume is absolutely awesome. I mean, all the detail on his face. I love how the beaker lights up, and then his mouth lights up, and then his chest lights up as if he was drinking some extremely toxic fluid of some sort. Being a mad scientist, I love that he's got the crazy gray hair. All the veins in his neck is really cool. Like I said, the veins in his hands really cool. I love that his stained up lab coat and his stained up pants. I like the stance, how he's staggered. And just all around, he's a really great animatronic. I love his movement. I love it. I was totally unsure about Dr. Illume at first, but now that he's here, I love it. He's about as tall as I am. I like that the new forms in his legs here and his arms. I like how they have those instead of the foam. All in all, I love his animation. I love what he does. He's nice and loud, and I think it's gonna look awesome on Trick or Treat, and I think the trick-or-treaters are gonna be super scared of him as they are with Punctured Pete that I have. They really don't like him, and I think he's gonna be right there with Punctured Pete. I don't think they're gonna like him either. But I love him. He's gonna be a great addition to the haunt this year. So if you like Halloween videos, unboxing, reviews, and yard haunt setups, be sure to check out some of the awesome videos that are popping up at the top of your screen right now, and I will catch you over there.